Hey there, Resume Leslie here. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Wednesday. I hope you are making it through the week all right. First, I just want to say that if you hear something that sounds like the raging ocean behind me, it's actually massive winds coming through the trees around me. For those of you who don't know, I am a full-time RVer. I am in my RV right now. This is where I come to you live from. And a full-time RVer means that I live a little bit closer to the elements maybe than a lot of other people, at least in the US. So I apologize for any background noise. Okay, second up, I do want to just take a quick minute before we get into our topic for today to just talk to you about the next few days. So today, of course, we will be talking all about finding the right resume keywords. And then tomorrow, I will come live at the same time to talk to you about whether or not you should be editing your resume to fit every job description that you apply to. And I'll talk to you about some strategy behind that and some best ways so that you are being as efficient as you can with your time. And then on Monday, October 5th, we'll be going live at the same time to do live resume reviews. So last week I went live and tried to do some resume reviews. I had some tech issues, but I've got those figured out. So I will be continuing the live resume reviews on a regular basis. I'll probably try out some different days and times just to figure out what works best for people, but I'll definitely be continuing that. So tomorrow, same time as today, tomorrow at 10:05 a.m. Eastern, I'll be talking about whether or not you should be editing your resume for each job that you apply to. And then Monday, I will be doing more live resume reviews. Okay, so moving into our topic for today, which is resume keywords. So most active job seekers out there by now probably understand that keywords play a big role. They're very important to your resume's effectiveness and your success in the job search. But it can be pretty confusing to understand why they're important, how to use them, and where to find the right ones for you, for your background and your resume. So I'll touch a little bit first two, and then we'll really talk more about finding those right resume keywords. So the reason that they are important is largely of applicant tracking systems. So I talked about this some in my live from yesterday when I talked about targeting your resume, but just to go a little bit more into it, applicant tracking systems are, or ATS as a lot of people call them, you may hear that a lot, but applicant tracking systems are the technology, the software that filters through each resume that is submitted in line for any given position. Most companies are using applicant tracking systems at this point, but not all of them. But anyone who's applying online is probably meeting with an applicant tracking system before your resume gets anywhere else. So the applicant tracking system is designed to let the employer input whatever important requirements, skills, etc., that they want in a given job. And when each resume that comes in for the job, when it comes in, the applicant tracking system is sort of the barrier to make sure that there is a high enough keyword fit between the resume and the job description. And if there is, then the resume gets passed on to the next stage. And if there isn't, then it gets discarded. So that is one major reason that resume keywords are important. Where to use or how to use keywords in your resume. I talked a little bit about this yesterday in my live as well when I talked about the summary or profile section. That is definitely a really strong place to utilize your keywords. It is a great opportunity for you to make sure that you're engaging your audience and catching their attention with the right keywords, but that's not the only place you want to use them. You want to certainly focus a lot of your energy and attention on the keywords in that top profile section, but they also need to show up throughout the resume. And the reason for that is, number one, just so that you have more of those words so that they can catch the attention of the applicant tracking system, and the applicant tracking system can say, yes, this resume matches up well with this job description, and pass your resume through to a real person. But also it helps to let a reader know, a recruiter, hiring manager, anyone who's looking at your resume, it helps to let them know that not only are you sort of savvy enough to know what the keywords are and know that you need to front load them in the top of your resume, it also helps them to understand that you actually did use those skills and keywords in your career if you can make sure that they show up throughout your job descriptions as well. And it's just as simple as when you're creating your job descriptions, as you're going through that process, and even once you kind of finish what you think is maybe a good first draft, you can go through and read your bullet points and read the descriptions that you have and see if you have utilized those keywords that you identified, and see if there are places where you might be able to make little shifts in your language to incorporate more of those. So those are the sort of pieces about why keywords are important and a little bit about how you use them in the resume. Now let's talk about where you find these keywords and how you know to find the right keywords for you. So the majority of your finding your keywords is going to come from researching job descriptions. That job descriptions can really serve as a cheat sheet for knowing what should go in your resume. And a big part of this starts first with targeting. And I talked about that in my live yesterday. If you haven't known yet to really figure out who your target audience is, then the keyword research and understanding how to find and what are the best keywords is go. If you can sort of follow what I talked about yesterday about targeting your resume, make sure you start there and then you can get into your keyword research. And I'll talk to you exactly what that means in just a minute. The one thing I want to bring up before we get into that research is you are either a new grad or someone who is shifting into even really sure what it's all about. It may be beneficial for you, instead of trying to dive into job descriptions, it may be beneficial for you in the beginning to do some research and even just some Google searching about important skills for the job title or the industry that you're moving into, or best resume keywords for the job title or the industry that you're moving to. And the reason for this is just to make sure there's nothing that comes up that you are sort of completely clueless about. And that just happens a lot if you're transferring into a new industry or something like that. So this gives you the opportunity to read about what skills are important and identify any that you're just wholly unfamiliar with, and do a little bit more research about what those things are first, so that when you get into the job description research that I'm about to talk about, you're more prepared and your mindset is really in the right place. So getting into how the job descriptions are really like a cheat sheet for you. Job descriptions, by their purpose, are really meant to detail exactly what it is the employer is looking for any given role. So that right there just really makes them the perfect sort of resource for you and the perfect place to go to figure out the types of keywords that are being asked for. What I encourage job seekers to do is, once you've decided on your target career area or job types, I encourage you to create a sample group of at least 5 to 10 of these job descriptions that are all pretty similar, and make sure that you have, make sure that you have a sample group to start with. And then once you have that good sample group of all similar job descriptions, you want to make sure that you're doing some analysis on those. And I kind of break the analysis down into 2 different layers. So the first layer of your analysis is to read through each job description individually and figure out what the gist is. So don't really try to analyze specific words at this point. This is your opportunity to really get into the human type of person that they are looking to hire. So with this first layer read through, you want to just sort of understand the human element of who it is that they're wanting to hire, what maybe some of the top 2 or 3 most important skills are that jump out to you, and just sort of jot down your notes for each one. That helps you, again, to set your mindset a little bit better, put yourself in the position of, okay, how do I need to represent myself as a human element coming into this role? Then for your second layer of analysis, this is really data. The best thing that you can do is to use technology to help you and not try to just do it all by yourself. There are great online tools that can help you do analysis. There are word cloud and word counter tools free online that you can find. But what you're really wanting to do is, for each description, go through the analysis process and then write down or track which keywords, which words, which skills are showing up most frequently. And you do that for each of your job descriptions. And then you can even take the aggregate of all of those skills and do another analysis to figure out which ones of your big group are really coming out and being named most often. And that is the best way to really identify the best keywords for you and the strongest, most valuable language that you can put into your resume. So I hope you found that helpful. Again, remember, I am going live tomorrow morning to talk about whether or not you should be editing your resume for each job that you apply to. And then on Monday, I'll be coming live to do If you are struggling with this, if them in your resume and you still struggle, I opened my resume redo masterclass yesterday. It will be open through Monday 5th, and you can visit resumeleslie.com/redo to learn more about that. I'm really excited for this opportunity to get my 5-step process out there into more hands and to help more job seekers during this difficult time. And if you are, then I really encourage you to go check that out. Feel free also to reach out to me if you have questions. I will do my best to answer any questions that come through on this live in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great day.